All right. Hello, everyone. So my name is Lizzie Knowlton, and I just give a few thoughts about the reading that we've done over the last few weeks. So I picked a few reflective questions that I wanted to cover during this time. So I'll start with the first one. As you read about the history of outreach family life education, in what capacity do you see yourself getting involved with strengthening marriages and family through family life education? And I really enjoyed learning about the family life educator. Um, I thought going into this major that I might be interested in doing therapy of some sort. Um, and as I've done a little bit more research and talked to those who do things like social work, I have come to realize that that's probably not the course that would be best suited for me. And so I kind of was like, what's the point of doing this other than the great education that gives for your family? And I think that the family life educator option is really wonderful. It's a great way to be involved in the community in a capacity that allows you to hopefully really make a difference. It allows you to be involved in a lot of different fields and a lot of different topics. And I think you can be involved with a diverse group of people and really help to make a change. I think that it's working in a capacity that is more comfortable for me. I like doing like like face-to-face interactions with people, and I like kind of group settings where you can kind of banter off one another, and I just enjoy those kind of settings. So that's kind of where I would see myself contributing in this field. Um, I am really avidly interested in health and nutrition and kind of living a balanced life. That's actually what I'm doing my workshop on for this class. And so that would be an area that I would be really interested in pursuing at some point. So I don't know, the educational requirements of having the time, I think, what was it, like 2,000 hours spread over 5 years. That's a little intimidating to me at this point, but you never know. So moving on to the next question. Something that I just pulled out of the reading were the different approaches that were used to teach family life education. And as I thought about what kind of approach I would like to take with the workshop that I'm planning on doing at the end or during this semester, I thought that the eclectic approach seemed most suited for me. There was anything from like a really book-wise approach to kind of like the facilitator type approach where you like really let the participants decide how the class is going to go. And I thought that I like having like the background of research, but also letting the participants take a place and like inspiring changes at all the different types of approaches. And that's kind of what eclectic is the combination of all the different approaches. So, and I also thought it was really interesting to read about family life education philosophy. I really liked how it talked about having a passion about what you're doing. That's something that I feel really deeply about. And I actually found this quote. It says, working hard for something that we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we care about is called a passion. And so I really hope that this semester I'm able to work off of my passions for health and nutrition and education and combine it with family life education to really find something that I can develop into a passion in my future life. Let's see. So, sorry, I'm looking off of some notes on my screen. The next question is, family life education works to prevent problems or issues from occurring or work to prevent problems from escalating? As highlighted in Chapter 2, there are 3 different levels of prevention: primary, secondary, and tertiary. When you think about the family life education you would like to provide, whether now or in the future, what level of prevention most closely corresponds with your interest? I would definitely have to say primary. I feel like that's kind of sparked by my interest in health and nutrition. I feel like, preventing some of the bigger problems that occur is like the best way to go for that. And I would imagine and feel like that's the same with any family life education issue or topic that might come up. It's better to prevent than to have to kind of do triage and damage control. And so that's really where I would like to get involved, whether it's, coaching for quick and healthy meals, or doing marriage classes, or, like first time parent to be classes. Like, these are all things that I think would be really interesting to get involved in. So that's where I would like to do my work. So let's see. I also found it very interesting in the appendix, the different principles that we read about. I loved how they corresponded really well with a lot of the principles and gospel teachings that we believe. I just always think that that's really cool when principles overlap like that, where you can see really how much the gospel does help you to understand life a little more clearly. Some of the principles that were covered that I really enjoyed were the principle of chaos. These are all principles that are like relating to my life at the moment, and that I feel like I need to be reminded of. It's not necessarily in like the grander context of family life education, but I liked the principle of chaos, that it says the world is not always tidy. I'm a little bit of a neat freak, and my husband can totally attest to that. And we have a little 10-month-old who's learning to walk and really starting to get into stuff. And so by the end of the day, like, the house kind of looks like a disaster, and I don't really have a chance to clean, because then I like launch into schoolwork. And so I just have to remind myself that the world is not always tidy. And I also really liked how the book summed up the principle of agency. And it just talked about, I really liked the wording that it said. It just said, use the power that you do have, identify the space for action, and act within it. And I think that sometimes when I consider about agency, I'm like, I can change the stars, I can change the world. And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen, but I think that it's important to identify that space. And, taking this into the context of family life education, like, there are probably problems that we'll come across that we'll never be able to completely fix. But you can identify the space for change and act within that. And I think that that can be really powerful. Lastly, I really liked the principle of readiness for change. And it said, change occurs when an individual is willing to grow, and growth cannot be imposed, or is willing to listen, and growth cannot be imposed. And I just think that this has hit home to me, just, I guess, in the last couple of months, with changes that happen when someone is ready to make the change, and you can't make it before then. So I think that's important to identify, not only in your own life, like in changes that you're hoping to make and, improve yourself, but also in education and family life education. Like, you can teach all you want and, disseminate all this information, but if the population or the target audience is not ready or willing to listen, they won't be ready to change. And so I think that, for those of us that are doing workshops, and even those that are doing the family relations, we need to be mindful that we want to create a need for change, and also, apply that into our own lives as we start to become better. So without any further ado, I'm going to sign off for this learning, teaching interaction, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone else's. Thanks. Bye.